we've covered the government's allegations against the Southern Poverty Law Center off and on, and we told you how the nonprofit allegedly bankrolled the very hate groups they claim to oppose. But a closer look at the updated indictment shows allegations even more outrageous.
Yeah, so authorities say a high-ranking SPLC official was allegedly carrying on a romantic relationship with a member of a white nationalist organization. Newsmax crime correspondent Jason Mattera here with the details. Jason, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Mark, Charlotte. So when the indictment against the Southern Poverty Law Center first dropped, it already had that "you can't make this up" element to it. The group allegedly in bed with actual racists. But if these latest allegations are true, then that wasn't just a metaphor. They were literally in bed as a couple. The Justice Department superseding indictment identifies who they call Employee 2 as a person who would become the SPLC's Director of the Intelligence Project, their division that supposedly monitors hate groups across the country. For much of the period outlined in the indictment, that director appears to be Heidi Beirich, a researcher and speaker on combating extremism. And apparently, she didn't have to look far to find it. The government's indictment cites an individual identified as F9 who was allegedly paid by the SPLC to infiltrate a neo-Nazi outfit called the National Alliance. He was a fundraiser for them. Yet according to prosecutors, F9's ties to the SPLC went far beyond informant payments. He and the director of the Intelligence Project were reportedly an item. In fact, they allegedly even shared a house and 2 bank accounts together. From 2015 to 2021, the Justice Department says roughly $140,000 was funneled from the SPLC's operating account through a fictitious entity and ultimately landed in those joint bank accounts. And that money, as the allegation goes, helped pay for the couple's personal living expenses. Now, we reached out to both the Southern Poverty Law Center and to Heidi Beirich for comment, but sadly did not hear back. The SPLC is currently facing federal charges involving wire fraud, money laundering, and lying to banking institutions. And if this portion of the indictment is true, then the organization that built its brand on exposing the underbelly of hate and extremism had a very under-the-covers way of doing it. Mark, Charlotte?
Wow. Well, my mom would say if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I don't have anything nice to say about that couple. Right? Very interesting. All right, Jason. Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.